area also have paid up to date with what they needed to pay. A few of them are like a little bit behind, maybe by a few $100s, but I'm nothing where I'm worried about rushing them to the courthouse at the point. But the J. D'Amelia, which is the DSS checks, all that come from Section 8, I was able to receive a check today, checks in total of almost 41,000 dollars.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was happening is they had changed over staff over there, and apparently it wasn't, some stuff was in the system and some stuff wasn't. And I had two out of all of them that I didn't receive documents for. So we fixed that problem, got them going, and redid the new leases as well with them. So I had everybody's stuff up to date, and I went through each and every account and trying to find out who was handling each of the accounts so that we could see why and where things were lost and misplaced over there. But I had majority of the documentation already had been signed already by our tenants and was already submitted. But those particular workers, staff from that particular agency were no longer with them. So they're going through changes right now where they're been through like a handful of staff, and then 2 months later there's another handful of staff. So I think they're using a temp agency at the point. That's what they were explaining to me. And then I was able to get key people that are still there to help me with going through the managers that are going to be covering those particular areas. So there's different areas of Section 8 there. So I was touching base with each of them, sending them all the paperwork and stuff. So we still have a lot more. Monies are going to be coming in January as well. So then we should be up to date, and we'll be running smooth on that end of the spectrum of the DSS and Section 8 tenants. And then you have the regular tenants. We're in court with a few. With a few. I have dates as of next week to start to be in there with them, and I'm starting legal on a few others, and I will be starting collections on those that have been evicted and moved on. So we're in the works of getting these monies that rightfully are ours.
Yeah, and just from a big picture perspective, so you kind of can connect the dots here. What she's talking about are tenants who have Section 8 vouchers that aren't the RAD vouchers that are attached to the property. These are vouchers that the tenants have for themselves, housing choice vouchers that attach to the tenant rather than the building. And the the structure of that is the same as Section 8 is on your RAD units, where tenants pay, what is their 30% of their income, and the balance is paid by the program. And it was the balance amount to pay owed by the program that was finally caught up, and that's where those funds are coming from.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the AR reports, in some cases you list payment from a firm. Is that rental assistance, a firm that's assisting with that?
Is that J. Amelia or something like that?
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
J.
like that.
D'Amelia. Yeah. J. D'Amelia
Yeah.
is the agency that administers the vouchers on behalf of the state.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard of them before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a subcontractor for the federal government. So that comes out of that's they're the headquarters for Connecticut.
For choice vouchers only.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So J. D'Amelia administers something like 5,000 or more housing choice vouchers across the state.
The
Okay.
question I have, Rick, is if these tenants, does the time frame that that we did not receive the supplement for, does it date from the time that some of these tenants moved in? Was J. D'Amelia paying them to another housing authority or another developer, another landlord somewhere?
No,
No.
that's not how it worked out. It
Okay.
might be new people moved in, When they
Mhm.
moved in, you have switching off of staff members. They got the leases and stuff like that from us, and in turn, certain things weren't getting into their system in a timely manner. So that's
Okay.
what was going on. And then they would ask me to resubmit the stuff that I had, and then they would find the stuff that exactly what I was talking about that I already had sent.
Okay,
And then
Basically,
so
they,
yeah.
yeah,
Basically, it's
so
staffing issues on their end where you
yeah,
make a submission and then that person quits or leaves or what have you, and it sits in the drawer somewhere for months. And
yeah.
then they
It's just
request
it's
it
like a matter
again.
of following up, following
Yeah.
up. Once I send these things, it's like I have to follow up right behind it to make sure that these people got it. And I'm calling them. I'm like, I'm on the phone right now with you. I'm sending it right now. Because that's how I was only able to like really get through to them, is speak with someone on the phone, have them on the phone, and submitting stuff to them. So they said they have it in hand. Okay, you received it. Okay, good. Because I was sending stuff and I wasn't getting no responses. And then at one point I was like, who is handling this? Oh, that person left. I didn't even know that person left. Normally they would, you back in the day, they used to send a notice to us saying, oh, well, this staff member is no longer with us. Or if you send the email, it would bounce back off or to you and say, oh, this tenant, this employee is no longer working. Please refer to another employee. So that's what I'm getting now. I'm getting that again. That started again because I've sent documentation to like the new people that we found were new, and now they no longer are there. So that's how I'm getting these kickback emails on those particular ones that I've recently sent to be processed. But yeah, I'm on this. I'm on it, and that's it. We're not dealing with that again.
Okay, thank you.
great.
The other financial part of the discussion relates to the 2024 budget proposals. And, I submitted them individually, and then I submitted a spreadsheet that gave you them side by side and totaled them up so you could see it a little more easily, comparing the three, and also see it as a property in total. And I also included, we had discussed the last meeting, the 3% increase for 2024. So I included roughly what that would look like and how that would change the year in terms of the amount of debt service coverage that you have. So you could get a kind of a big picture look at what we're proposing for 2024. And, as you can see, the debt service coverage is still below where we need to be with the 3%, approximate. What I did, just so you know, to keep it simple, was because the 3%, waves in each month as people renew their leases each month. I basically put a 3% increase for half of the year. So it's not precise, but it gives you a rough idea of what you're looking at in terms of annual income with that 3% increase phased in month to month. And the result is about a 1.07 debt service coverage. Ideally, we need to get to 1.15 or better. So I think we can't go without the increase. And the only way for us to get to the 1.15 is to try to do better on vacancy or try to keep some expenses down here or there and hope for the best. But that's kind of what we're looking at right now. So, I present that for your approval, both in terms of the budget and, I would say official confirmation that the 3% rent increase is acceptable.
And your vacancy assumption is 5%? Is that what you did?
Yeah. Yeah, let me check it just to be sure. Oops. Yeah.
And so and also did you factor in the insurance difference?
I did, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Is the
And
insurance?
Millport pays no real estate taxes, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so the insurance I have at 80,000 on the year, which is just slightly higher than the actual quote. I just rounded up a few $1,000s, which will now be probably mostly taken up by that small increase in umbrella that you approved earlier in the day. So, I mean, there's
We're
nothing,
moving.
yeah, there's nothing magical about the budget. There's nothing new or revelatory about it either. It just kind of is what it is, and we just got to keep working towards it. You know, we've not drawn heavily on reserves for any one of the 3 reserve accounts that are there, and you've built up the Hank accounts significantly with the payment of the development fee from Canaan Parish. So I would say that there's sufficient funds backing up your budget so that you're not going to run into a problem of not having money to get through the year. But obviously we don't want to draw on that. So, you know, we're going to try and adhere to this budget as closely as possible.
Well, at least the DSCR is moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And not making, basically we did the step up this year for some of the rents, at least a little bit, and to get them back on track a little bit. And then this is probably the path, you know, just ever across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think
now
it's
going
just
forward.
I think it's just a slow progression of trying to inch up each year a nominal amount, and then, you know, eventually getting that debt service coverage ratio up to where you need it to be.
Yeah.
So I would, I don't know if it's the appropriate time, but if you guys could take a vote approving the increase in the budget, that would be helpful, just to confirm that.
Maybe we should do that in executive session.
Sure. However whatever you determine.
Yeah, why don't we do it then?
That's right. Usually we talk about that.
So are there any other reports from management?
So we had the AR report, the budgets, the financials, and the general board report. Again, nothing revelatory on there. We have new vacancies. We're turning them over. Amy's got, continues to always look for new tenants. So we're, that's just kind of business as usual, where we have our kind of stock vacancy that we're dealing with. Other than that, we don't have anything new or interesting to report besides the DSS payment, which was probably the news of the day.
Unfortunately, Amy, I have not found a home for this piano yet.
Oh God, yes, the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have this piano that's in one of the vacants that I'm trying to get rid of, and it's pretty heavy. It has wheels on it, so I'm trying to see like why the guys can't just wheel it out. But I think it's a little bit more than that then, because I don't know how these things work. But yeah, he was like, "Nah, that thing is real heavy. I can't pick that thing up."
I'm going to make a suggestion. There are
Mhm.
people that offer these items to give away on a social media site called Nextdoor.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm a member. I don't know if anyone else is. I can get the information and post it.
Well, I could send you the pictures. I'll send you the pictures today.
Okay.
Okay. No problem. That's what I did with Peggy. I sent her the pictures and see if she knew of anybody that may wanted it or she was going to post it out.
Is it an upright? What kind of piano is it?
It's an upright piano.
It's
Yeah,
a spinner.
it has
It's
a chair.
how does it sound? Has anybody played it?
Yeah, it sounds good. It's tuned and everything. The child played it. The child used to take lessons on it and everything. So it's just they relocated to Puerto Rico from what I was told. So they weren't taking it with them.
That's
And I
sure.
thought that it was going to be moved out because she was supposed to move everything out. And when I got there, she was like, "Yeah, the keys are in the box. My sister dropped them off." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." So I go and I go to the apartment. I'm like, "Okay, what the heck is this?" So we had a whole bunch to clean out and everything. So I was like, "Oh, I'm done with this stuff. I'm done with that one." Trying to figure out getting rid of stuff. So we got rid of most of the stuff.
Cindy's asking a question.
Maybe you could donate it to the School of Rock in New Canaan.
We could, but they would have to come and pick it up.
I would reach out to them maybe.
All right. I have no problem sending you. I'll send you the picture. I'll send you the pictures too. No problem. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I have no need for it. So It's not coming with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Or this is Wendy.
Wendy.
Or possibly the music store in town might have a connection
never.
with knowing who,
Yeah.
or Planet New Canaan, who does the transfer station thing. They may
We'd have to
have.
get it to the transfer station first.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's the
mean,
thing. It's
but they
too
may
heavy for
have
us to
like,
get,
yeah,
and it
but
costs us to move it. So we're trying to find an easy way out of it without we
yeah,
already costing us a pretty penny to repair this apartment. So we're just
yeah,
trying to unload it off on someone else and let them be responsible to get it out.
Maybe we could
yeah.
offer
But
it as an amenity to the next tenant.
there you
I
go.
did. I did. I actually did. I asked him if he wanted it. It comes with the apartment, I told him. I did. I
Amy
did.
will
And they have a
start
child. So I was
teaching
like, if you
lessons.
want it, you can have it. It comes with the apartment if you like. Because I
And we
showed it beforehand and he laughed at me. He really did. He's like, really? For real? I'm like, yeah, you can have it. If you want me to leave it here, I could leave it here for you. No problem. We'll just move it so we could put the new rug in. That's it.
Well,
Uh,
it'll cost several $100s to move a piano. What
yeah.
Yeah.
floor is it on?
Oh, well, we have an elevator, so it's on the third floor, but we do have an elevator. So that's the only, well, we have a good thing, and we have a ramp, so either way it would be one of those things that it would be easy accessible to get it in and out. Is the problem is the weight of it, and Gunnar says he can't move it.
Well, if
So
we
I
offer it
said,
on next door, it's their responsibility to pick it up.
yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
we offer
That
it
was my
free.
whole, yeah. So what I'll do is
Well,
I'll send it to all three of y'all, and maybe y'all can help me with that. That'll be great.
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
yeah, I know when I was over at the School of Rock and I was talking to them, they tell the garages that they're using are donated by Scott Hobbs. They
Oh,
told me, oh,
wow.
Hobbs gave us these garages. And I was like, you're kidding. So when they open up those garage doors, that space is totally donated by Scott Hobbs and Ian and the Hobbs
Awesome.
Inc. That was cool. Yeah. So send it to me. I'll try to pop over there, before the holidays, Amy, and see if they want
Perfect. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay.
it. Okay.
I'll
All right.
send it over to all of y'all this evening. No problem. Thanks.
So it's an upright. I
It's
can
an upright.
kind of.
Upright. It has a
Okay.
beautiful seat and everything. I'll send it over to y'all. The
Yeah,
picture.
Oh,
it's a spinet. It's just like a little console. It's not a tall upright.
okay.
So the soundboard isn't terribly large, which is good.
All right. We'll try to get rid of it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Anything
guys. I
else from
appreciate it.
management before we go into executive session?
No.
Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll move.
Okay, Tim. Okay, so I'm going to shut the recording.
Hey.